Are you ready to use up some 12 by 12 paper without making scrap? Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com, and I'm going to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get started. Today I am working with a Recollections collection from Michaels. I recently asked you guys what kind of paper sizes that you would like to see templates for. A lot of people responded 12 by 12, and specifically that the Recollections paper pads were challenging to try to use up all 48 sheets. Totally understand that. I, in fact, don't tend to buy a lot of those larger paper pads just because the idea of using 48 sheets completely intimidates me as well. Craftsmith Co., who produces the collections for Michaels and Recollections, reached out to me months ago, and they actually gifted me this and a few other collections, the one I'm using today, which is the Summer Road Trip collection. And I created some slimline cards with it. So if you want to see some more 12 by 12 templates, I will link those in the video description below. And they show you how to make mini slimline cards with 12 by 12 paper. But I wanted to come up with an idea that would allow you to make a bunch of cards really fast, because if you were trying to get through 48 sheets, that would be a lot. And so you'd want some quick card idea. And that's the inspiration behind my template today. The template shows you how you could make the cards with just one piece of 12 by 12 paper, but I'm actually going to use two because I want my background pattern and my focal point pattern to be different. So basically the template calls for 3x4s, and then you take some of the 3x4s and you cut them on the diagonal like I'm doing right now with this whale paper. You can find the template on my website, so you don't need to worry about those measurements. And if you want to do it the way I am, you're going to cut one sheet with all the 3x4s and another sheet as the 3x4s and then on the diagonal. I like to keep all of my pieces in these poly folders. I picked them up on Amazon, and I'll link them in case you guys are interested in them too. But they're nice because they're 8.5 by 11. They have the Velcro, which I find to be better than those like slip-in ones. And they're flexible. They fit in a binder, all kinds of nice little features, but you can get those anywhere. I just found that particular style worked well for me. I put all my pieces in there. I put my template. My templates fit in there once you print them off. And then I can keep track of all those bits so I don't lose anything. I will cut all of my cardstock, and then I'll add that. I'll add maybe the card bases, so that way I can also kind of craft on the go, and I don't have to be stuck in my craft room. Not that I want to be, I like being stuck in my craft room, but like sometimes, you have to like join the outside world. So if you need to craft on the go, like while you're camping or on a trip, I think this would be great car crafting, honestly, because you are really just doing a lot of taping of things together. So anyway, I'll put all these little 3¼ by 4¼ pieces in there, and everything's nice and organized. I'm going to use a stamp set from Fawn. Now, if you're the kind of person who only shops at Michaels, you probably don't have any Fawn stamp sets, but I really like to use my stash. So I just pulled out a stamp set from my stash that I thought coordinated well with the particular pattern paper that I chose, and it happened to be a Fawn set. I'm going to be using the whale as my sort of like main decoration focal point, and then I use the Just Wavin' Hello as my sentiment. As you can see, I try to kind of batch things that I'm doing. So for instance, when I was stamping the Just Wavin' Hello, I could grab my whole stack of 3x4 cards and stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp. And that way I'm not having to pick up all the pieces from around my desk, gather my supplies multiple times. So I'm going to stamp 12 whales at one time. I'm going to color 12 whales because this template makes 6 cards, but since I'm doubling it, I'm going to need twice as many, and that would be 12. I'm going to do some super, super simple Copic coloring. You can use whatever alcohol markers you have. You can use colored pencils. You can, if you don't want to color, just stamp these on blue cardstock and cut them out. But of course, you're probably not using the exact same paper, but that's always a good option. So if like you are seeing lots of people using stamps, you're like, I'm just not that into coloring, do consider that you can leave them uncolored with colored cardstock or sometimes even white cardstock. If you're stamping a penguin. I've seen plenty of them where the black parts of the penguin are filled in with black ink and you don't need to do anything to them. It's just that if you like to, or you can add just a little bit of color. This design I have used, and you'll see again in 6x8 paper because it also works out for that. So I'm sorry if it doesn't seem super original, but I like to share in all different sizes so that if you're looking for a particular size, you will be able to find the idea. I'm using a tool from Twiddler's Nook to press some things down just because I like to make sure everything is nice and firm. As you know, many of you know, I donate some of my cards, so they kind of get handled in big boxes and they get looked through and redistributed. And so it's good to make sure everything is adhered nicely and to use good strong adhesive like Barely Art glue, Scotch ATG I've had a lot of success with. And I'm doing this one a little out of order just so that I can show you the whole process of the card, but normally I would stamp them all, glue them all together. And if you are interested in donating your cards, there is a page on my website that explains where you can donate your cards and includes jokes that you can put inside your cards, including ocean animal jokes. So here are all the jokes that I have created. I print them and cut them out. I have these little labels to organize them. And then when I'm ready to prepare a set for donation, I can pick out whatever theme I think will work well. And then I can put a little bit of tape on the back, tape them down, and add whatever works for the organization. Some organizations ask you to include a personal note, sign your name, add your, the state or country you're from, etc. So you'd have to look into any individual organization, but I just wanted to let you know those jokes are there in case you're looking for how to finish off your cards. If you found this video inspiring, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.